So Neil Oliver's just put this video out. Not this one we're looking at, a new one. Neil Oliver's put a different video out. Neil Oliver's put... Hold on a sec. So, Neil Oliver's just put this video out. Are you ready for this? And he's just basically said that he's had a video removed. Sweet God.
Of every minute, of every hour, of every day. Greetings, beautiful people. Well, before I launch into my weekly monologue, I just want to let you know that my interview with the brilliant writer and investigative journalist Whitney Webb has been, well, it's been removed from my YouTube channel. But that being the case, you can still see it. You can still see the whole thing on my Rumble site. So get across to Rumble and see it there. And if you want to support my work, the rest of it, please subscribe to both YouTube and Rumble channels and check out my patreon.com site.
I don't know whether he means it's been... When he said it's been removed, does he mean he removed it? Does he mean he removed it or it's been removed? Because I think sometimes Neil Oliver removes things himself. Because I'm sure that the Tess Lowry interview was a lot longer, like a full video, and the Tess Lowry interview that he's got on his channel is only a very short segment, kind of like a minute or two, but I'm sure I remember the actual interview being quite long with Tess Lowry, so I thought that he'd kind of decided just to put like a short version of it on there and only keep the full version for his subscribers. He said it's been removed though. So, does that mean he's got a strike then? He hasn't said I've got a strike though. He hasn't said I've got a strike. If it's been removed, then he must have a strike. If he gets another strike, then you get more serious, like Verbs can upload for a while. Now, the thing is, also, who's put this here? Look, Royal Mail authorised. This is a wind-up. There's a Royal Mail advert appearing here when I had some stuff go missing in the post from Royal Mail. Anyway. So, this is the BentCup.biz Facebook page. I actually posted, besides these Blair and Starmer petitions, so look, it's still here. Obviously, it's not going to play when I click on it, but the screenshot's still there. We can see what this video of Neil Oliver's did look like. Called It's Us Versus Them. Neil Oliver interviews Whitney Webb. So this, obviously, Facebook has captured when you like link a video, it kind of captures a screenshot and then posts the screenshot. So it's likely if I click on it, it might break the link and it might kind of mess my page up. Although I suppose if it's I have got a screenshot of it. If I click on it though, it's probably going to disappear. When was this? 6th of August. 6th of August. It's the 21st today. That's quite a while ago. I'd have thought that Ivor Cummins one would have got removed, to be honest. Don't know why the Whitney Webb one's been removed. But someone sent me a very strange message on eBay today from a seller, and I'm like, it just was a very strange message. I'm like, I think someone's hijacked the seller's account and pretended to send me a message from it. I don't know how you would do that, but I wouldn't have thought it was difficult. You just have to have an account that appears to be the seller, basically, and you know, or make certain messages in conversations not visible to certain to certain uncertain accounts. So he's saying this Whitney Webb's been removed. That was a while ago. That Australian guy on there. Don't see Whitney Webb on there. So it's been removed. Although I've actually got the video link. I've got the Earl of the video. So Neil Oliver needs to do something about YouTube. This is one thing that I've got to get sorted out now. YouTube, people's videos getting removed. My whole channel's been removed. Now this is the thing, right? I'm speaking for 5 minutes now. The point is this. Neil Oliver has got 268,000 subscribers. 268,000 subscribers. So that's a lot of people. And he regularly gets 20,000 or 173, 14, 85, 117. He can get anywhere from 20 to 100 and odd thousand people viewing. So if Neil Oliver, and all these people are meant to be quite intellectual people, right? The fact is this, right? And it doesn't, you know, Neil Oliver has guests on his program. That's the point. I mean, he has guests on. So he's talking about things with people. He takes advice from people, and he discusses things with people. Usually these people are already well known or high profile people, who, you know, he can, you know, their opinion is, he regards it as a valid opinion. You know, that's why he has them on, because they're well known people. But you don't necessarily have to, you know, if we end up, you know, only taking advice from people because they've got a certain number of followers or certain number of likes or whatever, you end up like with this China social point system, right? Where, you know, citizen X is like, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's not a competition, right? We're meant to have common interests and common goals at the moment. And Neil Oliver, you know, he's meant to supposedly be opposed to this, you know, corporate elite, you know, globalist takeover, you know, trashing heritage, ruining the environment, you know, and so forth. He's of the, you know, rural kind of, you know, nice, peaceful, steady life, without forced, you know, surveillance tech takeover, you know, that kind of opinion, you know, Russell Brand, Neil Oliver, Dr. Campbell, people like that. Now, the point is this, and it doesn't take 8 minutes to say this, but I've been talking 8 minutes, right? I've actually tried to contact that other guest that he had on, but I'm not getting any replies from him. So I think either someone's blocking me, the emails aren't getting received. So I'm being controlled or contained or quarantined, or they just, I don't know why they're not replying to me. William Keat, that's the guy. So William Keat, really, when it comes to like rights and the law, William Keat is a person who I really could do speaking to, because he is really interested in all the things I've been looking at, and he knows all about them. And I've made some new findings and discoveries that nothing's been done about it, and I need to talk to him about it, because to basically ask him, you know, point out these things, which he is someone who can understand it, and he even says, you know, not a lot of people do, and then ask him, you know, what can we do about this? Can we do something? And either I'm being blocked or obstructed or quarantined or something, shadow quarantined, or he's just not replying to me, right? One or the other. Now, he himself said, you know, he does a lot of talks and courses and so forth, and not everyone gets it, or not everyone understands it. So, you know, when there is someone who does understand it and is keen to, you know, talk about it, it stumps me what's going on, right? I know, you know, there's a lot of things happening at the moment, but so Vobes as well. You know, Vobes has got people on his show all the time. I don't want to go on the show. You don't have to go on the show, but you know, and also Colchester Council Watch, that Rachel, you know, I really could do speaking to one of the guys that she has on, that he's called the Lawman guy. His name slipped my mind now. If I look in my notepad, it's in there. But you know, I could do. Is he called Damien? He's called Damien. That Damien guy. He I could do speaking to him. You know. So the fact is that Brand has been demonetised. I think Vobes has been demonetised now. He had another ban recently for like a week or so. He couldn't upload. Neil Oliver's just had a video removed. Right? We need to get YouTube sorted out for everyone. Okay? We need to get YouTube sorted out. There is something we can do on YouTube. We need to get not only the channels protected, but also the videos protected, right? Now, there's two things that could be going on. Either one, YouTube could be removing them, or two, hackers are taking them down and making it look like it's a system. And then when you try to contact YouTube to get it back up, the hackers are just like rebounding everything and rejecting all the appeals and all communications. So they're controlling the monopoly on YouTube. Now, it could be hackers who are like on our side to make it look like we're doing bad and losing when we might be doing better and getting more support to thwart the opposition. So the opposition thinks that we're doing shit and losing. Or it could be the opposition who's taking them down to stop us from succeeding, right? But we don't know for sure because, you know, I'm not a hacker, but it can only be one or the other. So it's either or, right? Now, what we can do is try to communicate, at least try to do something about it. There is something you can do about it, and this is the point of the talk. There is something that we can do about it. Now, this is the Public Meeting Act, right? 1908. There's an old one and a new one, but you know it's been changed a little bit, but it's still there. It's still in effect because you need it. They need it if they repealed it. Part of it's been put into elections and so forth, but it's been copied over. But it's still there. They need this for like their businesses, you know, for the Black Vanguard basically, because it actually covers Black Vanguard in a way, really. Although that's a bit, Black Vanguard will probably use it, but it's not really. They're not meeting as members of the public like on a bit, but it's still. They're all citizens, you know. That everyone in a business is still a citizen of the United Kingdom, right? And also, businesses meet with authorities, particularly when they're doing the lobbying and stuff like that. So you know, they need it for their lobbying, you know, and all those kind of stuff. But so the problem is, right, that the police aren't going to help us. This act, right? This is not make-believe. It's not fantasy, and I'm not misconstruing this. The wording of this is a lawful public meeting. How more complicated can you get? There's no complication at all. A lawful public meeting, right? That means, firstly, lawful. You're not breaking the law, right? Now, no one on YouTube breaks the law, hardly, when the videos get removed, okay? Because you've got to do something that is illegal or criminal, right? So the majority of the time, videos are getting removed, and there's no law has been broken, no evidence of any law being broken, right? A lawful public meeting. So, what is a public meeting? What is the word meeting? Meeting means the word, if in the dictionary, is a joining, right? Coming together. Well, people come together and join together all the time, right? Within the law. A lawful meeting of the public, right? So, a joining. Now, YouTube has got a community section. YouTube has got a community section. Now, if the community isn't a meeting, then I don't know what is, right? That's the whole point of community. So it applies, the act applies absolutely anywhere where you've got a joining of people, right? Where they're joined together to talk about something within the law, right? So there's not absolutely nothing that says whether it has to be on or online or in person or anything, as long as they're joining together. So it has to apply on YouTube. It can't not apply on YouTube. So it does apply on YouTube. Neil Oliver is using the act, basically, or when he's doing his questions and answers through Patreon and so forth, even also as well. And the act makes it unlawful for people to be removed and also unlawful to stop them from giving transacting their information and input. Because you could be meeting over schools, parks, councils, planning objections, absolutely anything. The community, the public, the community, that's the citizens, are joining together to talk about something. You can't stop. Basically, to break it down, you don't even need to be that intelligent or much of a lawyer to understand this, right? Basically, in England, the citizens, it's illegal to stop the citizens coming together in any way, shape or form. There's no prescribed manner of how you join whatsoever. It's a criminal offence to prevent citizens from coming together, conference, joining, meeting within the law. And then if it's about matters of church, state or law, then you can throw in parliamentary privilege on top of that as well, with complete and total freedom of speech. And that is the law in England. Any lawyer in this country who would disagree with that really shouldn't be practicing in law. And there's some kind of opposition to fact and truth, right? Now, the police are refusing to actively enforce this law. So the police won't enforce it. If you're on YouTube and someone removes you from a group, right, when it might have been, what happens if you're opposing a council on some greenbelt land, right, and you're helping them out and you're submitting evidence, and you're not preventing anyone else from participating, and you're not stopping anyone else from putting there what they want to say. Some moderators and administrators are just removing people because they're numpties. They're not responsible. They don't know rights properly or the law. They're just being... and this is what the culture of what Facebook and YouTube has created, this kind of like antisocial culture. But they claim that we're the ones being antisocial, but we're actually not. What's antisocial is stopping people from socialising, preventing them from being able to participate in the community, right? This is the legacy of Mark Zuckerberg. So this is the thing. So because many people confer via YouTube, YouTube can't remove people. YouTube cannot actually really remove you. The thing is, right, part of this act, to attend, to participate, at least in listening and hearing the meeting, YouTube, you don't have to be logged in. You don't have to have an account to listen to people speaking to speakers and be present in any Zoom meeting that's put through YouTube or in the community section. And you can read all of the comments. So you're halfway there already, because YouTube is not private. You don't have to have a membership or pay anything to be on it. It is privately owned, but it's not private. Private means that you can't see, hear, or look at it unless you pay a membership fee. So half of YouTube, they can't stop you from attending. But what they are doing by removing a channel or a video, or your ability to comment with a certain account that might have all your information on it and all your videos, is they're preventing you from transacting. They're preventing you from transacting. So on that count, they're breaking the Public Meeting Act. So it's actually illegal. I've actually written a letter to Elon Musk as well. I'll put it in the post. I don't know if it'll get there or not, but I sent him it. But Musk's probably been breaking the law a little bit as well, even though he's an advocate for free speech. But you know, I don't know if he's like... He said that if anyone challenges you legally on Twitter, then he'll pay for the legal fees. But, you know, it would be interesting if you had an employer who would give you a good chance to test out this Public Meeting Act. Then you could try it out if Elon Musk was going to pay for it. But, you know, Elon Musk doesn't want the barrel of the gun turned around against himself. You know, what happens if he's been removing stuff unlawfully? So he's in a bit of a pickle, really, Musk, right? Now... The thing is, right, this is the thing. So I believe that with $5,000, which isn't really that much for celebrities, right? Particularly when they can just, like, you know, say, you know, send money or whatever, and everyone sends, like, you know, 50p or whatever. £5,000 is not a lot of money for celebrities, particularly when they've got an audience that could give 50p each or 25p each, right? Although I know they usually want the money for other things, but this is the thing. We've got issues. People are having videos and channels taken down. What is it going to take for Verbs or Brand or Neil Oliver to do something, right, about it? But you know, we don't know who's doing it. You know, the Anonymous or hackers, you know, scammers payback, Anonymous, God knows, you know. We don't know whether it's our own side, our own team that's taking our own stuff down, right, as some kind of safety measures or just to make it look like, you know, we're doing crap, right, to thwart the other side, or whether it is the other side, or whether it is YouTube. But, you know, if you go with the presumption that, you know, it's YouTube, or we've been led to believe that it is YouTube through their normal methods, then we need to do something about it, right? And that is that it's a criminal offence to prevent people transacting information, right? So, you know, you can get a prosecutor for £5,000. Obviously, you want one who's, you know, unbiased. You know, you want one that's impartial, who's not going to take a side. That's the hard part. But you know, and one who's not going to talk you down or talk you out of it. This is a problem. A lot of lawyers now are they're using their advice manipulation to just prevent people from doing things. So, you know, you can... I don't think it will be that difficult to go get a private prosecutor. You know, you get the Public Meeting Act. It's the simplest act ever. It's like it's the shortest, simplest act of law ever. It's not complicated at all. It's simple. All you have to have is evidence of removal of information, preventing from being transacted and preventing from participation, which is removal of a video, removal of a channel like Verbs. We've got all this evidence. In fact, you know, you can get a subpoena for them to give a full list of all the ones they've removed. So, you know, required by the court under subpoena. So the evidence it's all there, the evidence, you know, it's on file with YouTube. I mean, you know, there are many other people who have had stuff removed. You know, it's not like we're trying to find evidence, you know, fingerprints or hidden information or facts or objects. The evidence is there. It's all there. You know, we've got people who have had channels removed, and there's the YouTube have got the list of them all. So the information's it's waiting to be used effectively, right? It's not, you don't have to it's not like someone's buried it in some field somewhere unknown. We know where the information is, the evidence that's going to be used, right? And so therefore the main thing is this act and understanding it and applying it and getting it enforced, because the police are refusing to enforce it, right? And also these platforms are in this act has got a second clause, which is like it's criminal. It's an offence to encourage, incite people to break up meetings. Well, YouTube and Facebook and the platforms are doing that because they're providing the buttons and the facilitation for people to remove people, and even when they've done nothing wrong. So that they created a culture and an attitude of this kind of antisocial behaviour. But they're trying to make out it's the people who are misbehaving who are antisocial, but it's actually the admins and moderators and YouTube themselves who are antisocial, not wanting to socialise, particularly in a protected public meeting. So I think you could just effectively, right, go to a magistrate's court in London. It only needs to be a magistrate's court. It doesn't have to be Crown Court, because it's just it's quite a simple offence. But you can have like a simple offence by a big company. Just because it's YouTube, you don't need to have £1 million. You don't need to have £100,000 like that Stonehenge case. This is like a really, really simple act of law. Like, someone walking down the street. They're prosecuting people now for, all sorts of ridiculous simpleton stuff, right? It's a simple offence caused by a very, very big company who believes that it's above the law, but it's not in England, right? To go into a magistrate's court and prove this is absolutely simple. So easy. It's the easiest prosecution that you could ever do, right? And the fact that it's Paul Groves or Neil Mohan, you could even get Neil Mohan extradited, but that you might probably need to go. Might have to be a serious crime, and there has to be a similar offence in each country. The thing is, though, the Americans have got freedom of speech, which is very similar to the Public Meeting Act, so it's similar enough. I think because the American version of the freedom of speech, well, we've got freedom of speech when it's parliamentary, but the Americans have got freedom of speech. They say that it's more robust in America because it's not just, they claim it's not just political, it's general freedom of speech. Well, you can't speak to anyone if you can't meet, if you can't be with them, if you can't be present with them, if you can't talk to them. So, I would say that it's an equivalent or similar law. The Public Meeting Act is equivalent or similar to the First Amendment freedom of speech, because you're not free to speak if you've got no one to speak to. Surely, Russell Brand could raise £5,000 in 10 seconds, but is Russell Brand wanting to protect people's channels, or is he playing some waiting game, like, or what? But, surely he's pissed off about being demonetised. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on. It's like some kind of chess game or something. Why would you just do it? But even if Neil Oliver doesn't want to raise £5,000, prosecute YouTube, what's it going to take for him to get annoyed with YouTube? His one video's taken down, he's got a strike, Vubs is, these people are being poked, but, at what point are they going to do something about it? Do they even believe you can do something about it? You can. But the thing is that people need to know about this act of law. They need to know that it exists and that it should be being used. So my suggestion is simply this, and I don't want to be on the programme. I don't need to be on the programme. I'm helping now. This is helping, and that is this, right? Effectively, right? All you know, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter who told who or whatever. It doesn't matter that I said it or, you know, we're not bothered about that. What we're all bothered about is this. Surely, we don't want any more of Neil Oliver's videos removed. We don't want any more of Vobes' videos removed. We don't want Vobes' channel removed. I don't want my channel removed. Russell Brand doesn't want his videos or channel removed. That's a common interest. So surely, we've got a common interest, and then therefore we're trying to help each other out. Okay? We're trying to help each other out. And this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm speaking. Right? So, effectively, Neil Oliver, all he needs to do is on one of his programs, in a short section of it, or part of it, or even one sentence, or whatever, all he needs to say, and it doesn't matter who told him or where it got from. All he needs to say is, like, you know, to his 250,000 viewers is, right, you know, we need to do something about the videos getting removed and the channels. So, you know, it's been brought to my attention that there's this Public Meeting Act, and not a lot of people know about it. And we need to get more people interested in it. So, you know, everyone get really interested in it and start reading it and start thinking about it, and, you know, get other people talking about it. And then, you know, either YouTube are going to start getting lots of complaints and messages arriving in the hundreds of thousands about, you know, why are you removing these videos of the Public Meeting Act, which, you know, that's something. Or, you know, people will start saying, you know, okay, this act surely has to apply on YouTube, and, you know, why aren't the police doing anything about it? Surely the police watch Neil Oliver, right? As well. Now, you know, Neil Oliver could even say, you know, get people talking about it, you know, well, let's find out why YouTube are breaking this act and if we can get any legal action against them. And surely that's enough to get the ball rolling. Or, you know, Neil Oliver could say, you know, okay, you know, I know that you support me on Patreon, but, you know, if you don't mind, you know, giving an extra 50p, we'll try do something about this YouTube issue. Now, Neil Oliver might think, oh, I don't know if I want to prosecute YouTube, you know, it's a bit harsh, that, isn't it, you know? They just removed his video. You know, I mean, what's it going to take for Neil Oliver to say, oh, you know, it's Paul Groves, you know, he's a nice man, I don't want to have him prosecuted and label him a criminal, you know, but you know, he's taking the videos down when you haven't done anything wrong. You know, I mean, how many videos do you need taken down before you decide that he's a cunt? You know, so Paul Groves is a cunt, he's having videos taken down, the bastard. You know, put him back up now. You know, he might be doing, you know, this is the thing. You know, or else, you know, we're living on innuendos. Ooh, you know, maybe one day living on a prayer, you know, he might do something about it. It seems like the government are wanting to go the other way at the moment, and currently, you know, we've got these laws. Why aren't they being enforced? That's the thing. And it's actually the police who are meant to do it. Now, the police are, you know, dancing all around in Scotland about Youssef SMP's new laws for taking stuff down. The police are... There's a lack of impartiality here. There's bias. There's all these laws now that they've got to take this down. But what about the other side of it? You know, this has to stay up. This has to stay up. This has to stay up. You can't have, like, you know, you can't just have one side. You know, a lawful public meeting. So unless, you know, the police have got anything they're going to prosecute Neil Oliver for in that video with Whitney Webb, which, you know, that there's been no charge or accusation, then, you know, he needs to go back up. And that's what the police, that is information that has been transacted to his viewers, right? So, you know, unless YouTuber, you know, are saying that he broke a law, you know, and this is it. That Public Meeting Act renders the policy of YouTube invalid. It actually makes it has to be down to the letter of the law, right? What is lawful in the country that you're in. So, you know, we need to get people interested in this act. All you need to do is say, you know, get interested in the Public Meeting Act and find out, why it's not being enforced, why police enforcing it. This is the thing, surely between Neil Oliver, Russell Brand, and Verbs, and possibly John Campbell, and 250,000 subscribers, or Brand's got 6 million. It's almost like that. When Russell Brand says, don't pay electricity bills, the next thing, the Queen's in a coffin. The next day. Don't pay electricity bills. Sometimes Russell Brand says things that things happen. All Russell Brand needs to say is, hey, did you know about the Public Meeting Act? Apparently, it's quite an important, robust act. Which undoubtedly, even if he doesn't need legal advice, maybe he could. All he needs to say is, surely it must apply online. Surely, I mean that's not. You're not committing to a legal statement there. You're not like saying, I have to take legal advice before I say this. You don't need to take legal advice to say, surely it must. Tell me it doesn't. This is the thing. There's 6 million people watching Russell Brand. 6 million people start messaging YouTube saying, hey, just a minute, are you breaking the Public Meeting Act in England here? That's illegal. Then, it's beads of sweat surely have to start dripping from Neil Mohan's forehead. Why is he breaking the law? This is the thing. They've got Google offices in England. They've got 4 or 5 Google offices in England, YouTube office. There are staff there responsible for the legal side of it in England. They can be taken to court. This is it. We don't have to take them to court. I think that it would be enough for Brand, or Oliver just to say, look, hey, there's this Public Meeting Act has come to my attention. We need to all start looking into why it's not being enforced. Why won't the police enforce it? They want to take stuff down, but they don't want to enforce the laws that say you have to keep things in place or together, keep people together. So that's it, really. It's taken half an hour just to say that.